And look, no one's going to tell you you suck. I don't even tell my own friends that their band sucks, as much as sometimes that you want to be like, you guys are good, but this is not it. You can see that's it when, there's nobody at your shows. It just, one day you'll have just a wake up and be like, man, I hyped this show up and it didn't do shit. What's up, everyone? I'm Brooke, aka Thundersticks. As someone who's been in the music industry for 20 plus years, I know the ups and downs, trials and tribulations, and honestly, it does suck. But if you love it, you'll make it work. Some of this in this series we're gonna probably hit close to home on, probably get you mad at me, but you'll get over it. So in this episode, we're gonna dive into how to not make it as a band and what you need to get out of that to make it. I am a touring artist. I've been in the music industry for 20 years. I play drums. I've filmed some of your favorite bands. I've talked to I'm friends with some of your favorite members of your bands. Some of your members of your favorite bands are my friends. I'm just someone who's more behind the scenes of everything. So I also own a couple companies that collab with bands and do things like that. So that's super cool, super fun. We'll dive more on that in a different episode. First things first, treat a band like a business. That's pretty much, where it starts. You got to find 5 guys or 4 guys or whatever that are on the same page. They want the same thing. So everybody in your band would need to do something that would help your band, okay? So if you're wanting to go on tour, it'd be nice if one of your members was a mechanic, that way if your van breaks down, you ain't fucking tripping, someone who knows their way around of an engine. Now, I do not know my way around an engine, so it would be good to be in a band with someone who did, but electronic wise, videography, graphic design, artistic design, someone who likes to draw and then they can get your logo out, new design t-shirts, new sticker designs, anything like that has to do design, your own label, anything that you ain't got to fork out of pocket majorly, or, that is within reason to be affordable. In pre-planning, emailing venues, reaching out, calling, making sure that's the correct email, the correct person that you're talking to. You need to have some sort of responsibility as a musician, as a person, to not be a drunk while being a musician, So drink responsibly, play responsibly, be in a band responsibly like you would any normal job. You are representing your band, There are 100 ways how one person can just ruin a band, and I think we all know lead singers have a pretty good chance of, or pretty good track record of doing that. So just get your vices under control and don't let them whip you, So if you're in a band and you see your member have problems with vices, then, take the necessary steps to do that. Get them the help they deserve and need. Don't let them fade out. So if you're in a band, I've seen good local bands be absolutely phenomenal, give me goosebumps and stuff like that, and then just, let their vices take hold. Like, they all smoke weed, they all do, they all drink, and it just, and then ultimately it just came, I don't know if that was the cause of it, but the band just came to an end. And one can only assume, if you got 4 to 6 members and none of you can afford $25 to $30 a piece, whether that be for merch, music videos, sticker, any type of merch. If you yourself in the band of gentlemen cannot afford anywhere from $10 to $100, out of your own pocket to put towards merch for your band, then I don't know what else to say. That doesn't mean put money into it get your t-shirts and then spend the money as soon as you get it. It's not how running your merch sales is going to work. So I would make sure all my money's back for my t-shirts that I put in, so I have another round first. So your next round of t-shirts, you've made your money back, okay? And then I wouldn't even expect to be getting paid from t-shirts and merch sales from a local band. I mean, however long you guys decide. I wouldn't do it for a while, you know? So just like any small business, you can't really, I've started, 2 or 3 small businesses. I'm in one right now. You can't really expect that to be an income when you put money towards product. Like we got to put money towards jars, stickers, labels, product to put in those jars. And then, the time that it makes the product to put in there, as long as you make your money back to get the product, we know what the cost per jar is and everything. You know what the cost per t-shirt is. You just got to break it down. You're going to sit there one night. All this shit sounds boring, but it's a necessity to make it in the longevity of, the music industry, your band, yourself. Once you discipline yourself to do all these things, then everything else just becomes naturally like that. So you run yourself better. Everything becomes a well-oiled machine. Vices, like getting your vices. If you just want to play to, get drunk and have a good time, then be in a cover band. Drop a few originals, stuff like that. Like it's fine, Be a cover band, blink a few originals in there. And then if you get a really good following as a cover band, then bring on out. There's a band from around here. I think that they were like that, but they were some kids, but Unchained, they're booming. They got some good feedback. They do a lot of covers, but they do some stuff that's all them. You're going to have to pre-plan things, pre-plan your shows, clear schedules, put back for things, if you think you're just going to make it and not already have made it before, then this is really hard for everybody involved. Some expectations are we're going to hit the road, sell at these dive bars. In reality, it's playing in front of 3 drunk dudes and trying to stretch $40 between 5 dudes at a gas station because the bass player didn't, account for food. But when you play the same towns every month, every other month, and your draw is only 10 people, I don't know what to say. Just stop wasting time. I mean, there's a lot of bands people are my friends and they're good friends. Their music is good. Yes, they are good musicians. Collectively, the band sucks. Like, I wouldn't pay to see you. You got to know when to hang it up, or there needs to be more real people, or people just need to know how to not take it so personally. I'm stuck in the Midwest along with I don't know how many other wannabes and has-to-bes that want to make it, that want to do something. I used to have that dream. I want to make it. I want to be somebody. But that changed from the music industry. That changed, not necessarily, it went from I want to make it as a, well-known drummer, this and that, the other, okay? Famous, yes. As times change, that changed. I do tour, I do fill in, I do still play. Is that my dream now? I mean, not really, not anymore. I became a family man. I just know that in the music industry now that drumming or a fill-in artist, unless you're doing multiple things and you don't have a family or you just don't have kids, then you can do whatever you want and you can do 15, 30 different gigs, But me as a family man, you need something stable, or just do it when you can, or find a band, touring artist that you can do it when you can. You're like, how do you do it? Well, I mean, you sit at home and you practice. You do playthroughs. Do playthroughs of your favorite bands, So whether that be a whole album playthrough of whoever or you just keep going and going and going, and then you keep an eye on socials and you see that not necessarily your favorite band, but other bands that you feel like you could fill in for or knock out their or learn their music easily. Get it under your belt. Shoot your shot. The worst thing people are ever going to do is say no. So as long as you're, not afraid of rejection, then by all means, I've been shot down 100 times, but you keep going. So that's pretty much really all I can say. And if you're a band that takes that away from this and you just want to keep going and you're only getting 10 people at your shows, just be prepared to do that for years, if that's the case. Years. But it's got to be shit you can groove to. Got to be shit you can groove to. I'm not trying to sound like a Rick Rubin, like I'm here for vibes, but I would say there's Rick Rubin, inspirations that I grabbed from him by just knowing vibes. And when you get the goosies from hearing that person's song and stuff like that, I mean, that's, you being a drummer, you kind of already know. You're like, this is going to be a banger for sure. And I feel like that amongst most people, I got that one up, so being a creative solutions director or just a vibes guy, having a music background, I feel like I'm well-rounded to know what is good and what isn't in the metal industry. Now, I don't have a specific genre that I just listen to. I'm not an elitist. I'm heavy metal. It's all in one genre to me. It's heavy fucking metal, okay? Cool metalcore, deathcore, Bill Murray, punk, pop, hardcore, fucking classical. Dude, except for like today's country, I vibe with a bunch of shit. A bunch. As you should too. There's so much music out there. You can't just listen to one. You know what I mean? Like, I never understood the black metal dudes who that's all they listen to is just fucking Cradle of Filth and, Dimmu Borgir and stuff like that. And whatever else obscure, burn the church shit that, there are some good songs out there. Yes, I'll give them that. But like to only listen to that's hell, honestly, So if you're not diverse or open-minded, then this show or this series or whatever is not going to be for you, Time management and discipline is probably two things I could tell you to take away from any of this would be time management and discipline. So it's only as hard as you make it. And look, no one's going to tell you suck. I don't even tell my own friends that their band sucks as much as sometimes that you want to be like, you guys are good, but this is not it. You can see that's it when, there's nobody at your shows. It just, one day you'll have just a wake up and be like, man, I hyped this show up and it didn't do shit. So I've been at shows where it's been hyped up and there wasn't shit, so start and find band members that are in the same mentality as you, which would be the same thing that you do with any business. This is what this episode's about, is the band as a business, as a whole, starting small businesses. It's something that I do. It's what I do. So it all literally goes hand in hand, and forking money into it. Yes, it sucks, but it has to be done. You're going to have to fork money into your band. You're going to have to fork money into merch. You're going to have to fork money into shit that you do not want to. But do not expect, you have to realize that you can't expect a return on any of that unless you're writing some good music, and you have to appeal to women. Not like your music has to be sexy. It doesn't have to be Sleep Token. It doesn't have to be Bad Omens. But it's got to have a groove. It's got to be good. It's got to have a good chorus. It's got to, it's just got to be good. And your friends aren't your friends and family, they aren't your demographic. So take that with how you want. Get outside of that demographic. Spend money on making videos. Put it through these outlets that have a reach, Slamcore Worldwide or whatever, Slam Worldwide, any outlet that, uploads music of your genre that has a following, yeah, that's going to be a paid service. You got Orion Reacts, Keem, a bunch of Franz with Sunday Service. They all charge like $100 to $150 to either react or send you, so they can hear it. But why would I do that? Well, I mean, if your music's good and you feel like you stand behind your music and then you see them react to it and they're like, this is fire. They uploaded it to the channel. It's really good. Now, say you send a couple more, okay? I did live music videos, so it was a little bit of mix of some B-roll of them, and then it was live videos of the venue and everybody vibing to them and singing the lyrics and throwing their hands and you could see the energy on stage, literally see it, and that wasn't planned. There, these live videos that I do I'm at a concert, so it's not like we're listening to the same song 14 times. It's, I only got one time to capture their set, and then they tell me the song that they want me to make the live video from, and then some B-roll I use. So it collectively looks great. So the feedback that you get from that, they're like, man, that's what I like to see. The fans engage with your music, da-da-da-da. So these people that you sent your music video to, more than likely you're in a popular band that you listen to because you sent it to them. You are now on their radar. So say they come to the Midwest, they're in Chicago, they're in Peoria, they're in Bloomington, they're in St. Louis. You hit them up, you hit up the booking agency, maybe you send them that clip, like whatever your EPK kit is, and you send it to them, that show promoter, it will help you open up for them. You want to be opening up for bigger bands. If you're a local band, you want to be good and reach out. It's going to be a lot of footwork. I probably wouldn't even play any shows and just put a bunch of money into production and music videos and then play a few shows where you capture some live footage or but you've got to know or get the feedback that your music's good. That's just really it. Like if you think it is, that it's great. Everybody's going to think their music's fucking awesome. Everybody is. But as a solo artist too, like I'm a fucking 80s baby. I love synthwave. I do not outseek listening to it. I do like synthwave stuff. Love making it. Absolutely love making it. Crazy, because I'm heavy metal. I predominantly listen to heavy metal. It could be anywhere from Face Yourself, Spite, Darko US to Bill Murray, NoFX. I grew up in a big, huge punk generation. Rancid, Dropkick Murphys. I love two-step, so punk and hardcore to me go together. Knocked Loose, Keep from Springfield, Javelin. They're the hardcore scene here is great. Like No Cure and Surfaced, which I feel like are a blend of hardcore and like maybe just heavy metal. Like if Madball and Lamb of God had a baby, that's the music that's really coming out now. So me, I'm just it's heavy metal. There's clear signs of what's punk. There's clear signs of what's hardcore, clear signs of what's metalcore, clear signs of what's deathcore. So if you label yourself as a deathcore band, then I would try to have those influences kind of sneak out. If you're like, we're a deathcore band with heavy metal, melodic, whatever, then it's just heavy metal. If you're just heavy metal, you're just heavy metal. Let's not try to be an elitist. So with all of that being said, I guess just start making better music. So have fun with that. And like I said, in this series, we're going to be touching on how to not make it in the music industry and on who the fuck I am. So I'll see you soon. Later.